Hey, this is Dr. Dane, and I am here with Tonya and Brian, and they have a son, Alex, who I've been working with for about 9 months. Alex is 9 years old now and was diagnosed with autism at 2.5 years old. Brian and Tonya just wanted to sit down and share their story with you, parents who may be looking for some alternative, effective therapies for their children. So I will hand it on over to you guys. Go ahead.
As Dr. Dane said, Alexander was diagnosed when he was like 2.5 with autism, and we immediately started therapies. And we started diet therapies, occupational speech therapies, and any therapies we could possibly find to help him out. And Alexander showed great results between like 2.5 and 5. And at 5, he stagnated. We didn't give up on the therapies and seeking out other therapies as well, in the dietary realm and physical and speech and that type of thing. But nothing ever did a good job or had any type of results, period, other than temporary coping mechanisms. And so, like so many other like so many other special needs parents, we sought the medical profession and didn't really get anywhere. What we did notice last year is our friend, one of our very close friends, had a son that was seeing Dr. Dane, and had been seeing Dr. Dane for about 6 months at that time. And this little guy had made dramatic improvements. He had gone from he was only about 2 when he started his treatments here, and he should have been walking and doing all this other stuff, but he was a complete baby, and he would not be by himself. You could not leave him by himself. He wanted to be held all the time, and that's where he started. Where he was when we started with Dr. Dane, well, he was moving around more. He was more alert. He was aware of his environment, and his mom could leave him for a little bit, and he wouldn't get emotionally upset, and he would allow other people to be around him. And seeing this change in this little boy gave us hope for our son. So after all these years of going just nowhere, we decided to take a leap of faith with Dr. Dane. We were extremely skeptical first. Would you agree?
Yes.
Given the past medical treatments we had tried, the treatment plans just were disappointing. But the evidence was clear in our friend's son. We could not turn away from it. We couldn't discount it. We couldn't point to another source that this little boy had received because this was his treatment plan. This was it, and it was a core. And so we tried Alexander, keeping our eyes open for any kind of changes, because like I said, we were just watching, just waiting to point that finger and say, this is not going to work. This is not going to work. This is not going to work. But it actually worked. With amazing results. As our son started about 9 months ago, as we said, and he had already been Taekwondo for over a year and had made minimal at best progress. And within the 9 months that he's been here at Dr. Dane's, he's advanced 4 belt levels and amazed his Taekwondo master, earning him the title as most improved student over the Taekwondo master's multi-decade career. He was amazed. He was absolutely amazed, and we've been amazed as well. And the improvements didn't stop there. Alexander, when he started here, he was a rag doll. He just had no backbone. It looked like he just kind of slouched and moved like really slowly around. And
no muscle tone.
Right? No energy level.
No energy level.
Couldn't keep up with his peers. In a physical sense or even socially, for that matter. But but through the different treatment plan we've received here, different exercises, his core muscles have strengthened. He stands up straight. His eyes are bright. His visual impairments, eye turn, they have all improved, and even to the amazement of his developmental optometrist. His teachers as well have confirmed.
And
that
he laughs a lot more too.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Smile.
He does. You're right.
Happy boy.
Yes. Yeah. It's nice to see that smile.
It is.
Yeah. So we've had those confirmations, as well as his teachers have confirmed that he's doing better in his classroom work, his performance, his peers, and that's where we were with little to no hope for our son after many years of not going forward. But taking that big leap and coming here in just a few months, I've seen dramatic improvements.
What does the future look like for Alex now? Do you think he'll go to college and get a job and that kind of thing? I mean, that's something that a lot of parents with special need kids, they think about that. Will my kid ever not live at home? Will he get to go to college and that kind of thing? So what does the future look like in your eyes?
We had the same concerns, did we not?
Yeah. I can see him going to college.
Yeah, definitely.
And he's very smart, articulate little boy now, and being at 9 years old, and he's very into electronics, even to the point where he's building electronic circuits and little things like that you wouldn't expect from a 9-year-old boy. But he's loving life now, and I don't see a reason why he couldn't go to college. I really don't. You?
No, he's definitely going to go. And one of the other benefits we've seen here is his interests have greatly expanded. Mm-hmm. His mind is opened up, and he feels more confident among his peers, as well as being able to try different projects, in different subjects and different interests and stuff as well.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the social aspect. That's always a big deal with autistic children. So I've noticed a difference with how he interacts with other people, since coming here. But what have you all noticed with that, as far as like with having friends or interacting with you, his sister, your parents, or anything like that? What kind of changes have you guys noticed?
Well, I noticed before. When we first found out that he was autistic, I remember coming home. You always want your little boy or daughter, whatever, to come to Daddy, you're home. It's good to see you. And he wouldn't acknowledge, and it just wasn't there. He just wouldn't relate to other people as well. But now, so this is a totally different story. I mean, he relates to anybody. He talks to anybody. I mean, in classroom, he's raising his hands and asking questions, I mean, you be around him, if anybody didn't know anything about him, you couldn't tell he was ever autistic. Most people don't have an idea, And that's what we see.
Definitely, yeah. Because before, when he was around kids his own age, he had a short fuse. He had a short time period that he could and the environment had to be perfect, and the other kid had to have the same interest, and he's able to relate to other kids, varied interest. He's very interested in wanting to get to know other kids and have them over, as opposed to just being by himself and that type of thing. And with us and others and the sister, he, as Brian said, relates tremendously better.
Oh, yeah.
Communicates better.
Well, good. Well, it sounds like you've got your little boy back, and it's been a real pleasure working with Alex and with you. And I have to give you guys a lot of applause for all the work that you've done. Parents have to realize that the work, it doesn't stop here at the office. It goes home with you, and there is a lot of work to do. And you guys have done everything, and so Alex really is a product of the three of us working with him, and it's really just been an amazing journey.